Okay, here's all the cards. 6-deck Blackjack. Dealer stance on all 17s. No surrender. Blackjack pays 3-2. This is number 7 in the 5-way comparison between Martingale, Paroli, 1326, Fibonacci, and flat betting. This is the last one we'll do before we stop and do a summary of this series. Then I guess I'll probably also do another summary of summaries where I look at the results of the summaries from the other series that we already have done with all of these different systems versus flat betting. If you've been paying very close attention, you'll see that these are new cards. Oh, there you go. These are slightly different from the old cards. They're all from the Dollar Tree. Here's what the old cards would look like. So these are nice. They have bigger numbers, but the diagram area is a little bit smaller. If we have a face card, that picture is a little bit smaller. But whatever. Hopefully it's easier, a little easier for you guys to read watching on your phones or whatever. At least, you know, the corner numbers. I didn't intend to get different ones. I got them at the Dollar Tree. The backs are the same. You know, they come in a pack of 2 for $1. You get a red and a blue. And, you know, I just go ahead and put them together as red and blue because it doesn't matter. We don't play the backs of the cards. And I was thinking, okay, well, I'm going to get another, you know, big spender, spend $3, get 6 more decks, and then I'll have a red shoe and a blue shoe. And that was going to work, except that they came, the faces of them are different. And so that'll probably, I guess, look worse. So I got to go back, buy another 3 packs. Hopefully they'll be the same as these. I guess the same edition. And then I can have a red shoe and a blue shoe where everything is nice and consistent. And I'll just put the other cards away and use them for something else. And I needed to, you know, the other cards are still fine, but like one, I wanted to have, it would be nice to have, you know, everything be one color. That doesn't really matter. But for some of the systems I want to start testing next, I'm going to need 2 shoes, and I won't get into how I figured out how to do that until I start doing it. Anyways, now I'm down another $3. I'm going to be down another $3. But you could help. You can you watch. You know, there's those ads in there. You got to watch to help out other YouTubers, and I do this too. Just let them play. Don't do the skip ad thing. Okay. Sometimes I do if some of those commercials, those ads get really long. But you know, if they're short, 20-30 seconds, I usually let them play. And of course, click like and subscribe. All those things help those of us who make these YouTube videos. Okay, I'm going to try to go as quickly as I can. I'm going to keep using the automatic card shuffler. If you're new, you know, I show you all the cards there in the beginning so you can see they're all there. I show you the complete shuffle procedure so that you can see that I'm not setting up the deck in any particular way to favor any system or another. If you're already familiar with how this goes, you could skip ahead or just let it run. Anyways, the way this works is we have 5 different betting systems, like I mentioned already: Martingale, Paroli, 1326, and Fibonacci, and as well as flat betting. You know, flat betting is a system of sorts. So we run them all. We run through this whole shoe, but all of the different systems play on the same cards. They don't get their own hands. That's just to make sure that everybody, so we get a direct comparison. You don't want to try to be doing this where everybody's in different positions in the table, because then you could have, you know, first base get really good cards and third base get really bad cards, for example, and then you wouldn't know which system actually did better. You would just know who got better cards. So we're trying to level the playing field a bit. This table is, first we run on units, which you can then scale up to whatever table you're playing. This table is a minimum wager of 1 unit, a maximum wager of 100 units. That's like playing a $5 table with a $500 max, which is fairly common. Each betting system starts with a bankroll of 50 units. They all start with a base wager of 1 unit. And then they follow their appropriate betting strategies. In the event that any system were to bust out, they are not, for the purposes here, they're not allowed to buy back in. They're just simply out for the remainder of the shoe. The ones most at risk for that are the negative progressive systems of Martingale and Fibonacci. And we'll get almost there. Just one more run through. This is a lot faster using this shuffler than for me to do this by hand. Plus it keeps my cards from getting bent. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this series. This has been a lot of work, this one. However, I have learned a lot. I hope you have too. I've learned a thing or two about Fibonacci and how to apply it. How to apply it specifically in a blackjack scenario, because blackjack is a slightly different casino game in that you have opportunities to win or lose more than your original wager due to things like multiple wins or losses from splits and double downs, as well as the bonus pay when you get blackjack. Okay, these are cut cards. I'm sure you recognize these nice little joker faces. Okay, we will simulate cutting a deck, or a player cutting the deck. Oops. From there, bring that around, and then I put the cut card in, looking for about 75-80% penetration. We've been getting at least 45 hands out of a 6-deck shoe playing heads up. Every time we've gotten at least that many. Okay, now I'm going to put out little labels for all the systems. They're going to bet in these positions. Again, like I said, they don't get their own cards. There's a common hand for everybody. Martingale and Fibonacci are in red because they are to indicate that they are negative progressive systems. Paroli and the 1326 are in green just to show that they are positive progressive systems. Here's everybody's stack bankroll of 50 units. Negative progressive systems modulate their bet when they lose. Positive progressives modulate their bet when they win. It's actually not just modulate, it's they will in general increase their bet when they win. Fibonacci, on a win, it does change, it doesn't always increase it, or it doesn't always, it just moves it down. Sort of similar to the 1326, isn't always increasing, it goes from 1 to 3, then it goes down to 2. Burn card. Okay, everyone starts with a base unit here. We play by perfect basic strategy. I have the card over here on the side in case I need to refer to it. $20 stands to a dealer 8, 10, 16, 20. Oops, push. A push will repeat the hand or repeat the position and the wager for all different systems. So if you're somewhere down in your cycle, it's just a redo. It's a total do-over, just like on the playground. 19 stands to a dealer 6, 11, 21. Okay, I keep track of all the number of hands that we're running. I give you a heads up as we get to every 10 usually. I also keep the loss columns for Fibonacci and Martingale down here. It helps me keep track so I don't get confused, which if you're a regular viewer, you know that I get confused once in a while. Because I'm playing both sides of the table. I'm trying to deal and run your bets. And now with 5 different systems out there, it gets a little tricky. 14 hits and busts to a 20 with 24. 15. So yeah, playing my perfect basic strategy. Like I said, I keep the card over here on the side. I can't show it to you. It's actually just on the screen of my laptop. I have to fix the Martingale wager. I use the one I get from wizardofodds.com. Nice site he's got there. Lots of great information. 7 hits to a 17. To a 7. 13, right? 19. 17. Okay, so Fibonacci gets back the 2 from his loss column right there. Closes his cycle at break even. Pay all of these. Martingale gets the 3 from his loss column plus 1 on his wager of 4. Okay. The objective of Fibonacci is to close out your current losing streak at break even, barring bonus pays from blackjacks and multiple wins from splits and double downs. 1, 3, 2, 6 brings out another one, increasing the wager to 3. The flat better is always 1 unit. Paroli presses his entire winnings, looking for 3 consecutive wins. So splits, multiple wins from splits and double downs, as well as blackjacks. The whole thing gets pressed. Martingale, the objective is to get back all the money from his current losing streak plus 1 unit. Yeah, I have a chart of the Fibonacci sequence over here. That is on paper. I will bring that up periodically to make it clear on what we're doing. This is an ace check. It's not there. 16 hits to a 10. 25, it's bust. In general, for Martingale, doubling the previous loss. So he just lost 1, so his next wager is 2. So that if he was to win, he would get back the 1 from his loss column plus 1. It gets a little bit different after losing, after multiple losses from splits and double downs, but we'll deal with that if and when they come up. They usually do. Insurance closed. Basic strategy says not to take insurance. It's not there. 13, 18, 3, 13, 13, 21. Most important card in the game, I keep telling you. And you probably keep seeing it. 21 beats an 18. Okay, so while we keep going here, Fibonacci, the idea is that your next wager is the sum total of your prior 2 losses, or if you're not doing gambling, it's just the sum total of the prior 2 numbers. Since we're doing it by as a negative progressive, it is your last 2 losses. So you lost 1 and 1. Your next wager is 2. If we get farther into the cycle, I'll bring out the sheet and talk about that very briefly. 18 stands, 12, 22. We're not farther in the cycle. Fibonacci closes at break even. Pay up here and here and here, and Martingale gets back his 3 from his loss column plus 1 for 4. Congratulations on completing the cycle there. And Fibonacci and Martingale will reset again. 1, 3, 2, 6 needs to bring out another one to bring the wager to 3. Paroli pressing. Martingale dropping back to a single unit. Choppy back and forth action. Win, lose is really hard on Paroli and 1, 3, 2, 6. It's even worse for the 1, 3, 2, 6 because Paroli, you haven't brought anything else extra out. 1, 3, 2, 6 you have. A 16 stands to a dealer 4. 14, 24. Now once the 1, 3, 2, 6 has hit this 3, things start to even out a bit for him. But until win lose is tough there. Paroli is in the same position as he would have been as he was before. He hasn't won anything. He just has more risk out there now. He's just pressing his bet every time. So the 1-3-2-6, after winning 3, drops his wager down to 2. Paroli pressing the whole thing, looking for 3 consecutive wins. Wager is 4, Martingale at 1. You can play Paroli however you want. 3 consecutive wins is the most common, but you can play to 5 consecutive wins, 6 consecutive wins. You're increasing your risk, but with more risk comes more reward. Those rules still apply. 22 busts. So 1-3-2-6 did not complete the cycle. Paroli did not get the 3 consecutive wins that he needed to complete his cycle. 19. Fibonacci's in position 2 on the chart, wager of 1. Martingale down 1, wagers 2. Well, this shoe's going a little faster than some of the other ones. That's nice. Ace check here. It's not there. 18. 20. So I'm keeping your negative progressive loss column down here on the side. Of course, they won't do that in the casino. You'll have to figure out a way to keep track of that yourself. By the way, that's the first 10 hands. It's hard for me to tell the status of things. Before we play the cards, let's put the wagers out here. There we go. Well, I'm going to ask you to, if you want to insure that 17, and of course you will decline, and I will look, and it's not there, and you will stand on a hard 17. What is that, 2 or 12? Now it's 12, 14, 18, and down you go. Okay, very briefly show you Fibonacci. Here's the sequence. Oops, ignore those pencil marks there. Where's my eraser? We'll talk about that in a second. Not a very good eraser. Okay. Fibonacci, you lost your first one. It's right there. You lost your second one. It's right there. You move down to the next position of 2, because 1 and 1 is 2. Next, you lost that 2. Your next position is a 3 because 1 plus 2 is 3. If you lose that, you're going to go 2 plus 3 is 5, etc., moving down. Obviously, Fibonacci would continue past 89, but the table limit is 100. The next number would be 55 plus 89 is 144. But since you can't get there, I didn't put it on the sheet. If you're going to play Fibonacci, take a smaller version of this to the table, plus a pencil and an eraser, so you can keep track of where you are, especially when you get into multiple losses, and you'll see, if that happens, you'll see why. Otherwise, there's a special video about this. Martingale's last wager was 4, which he lost, which puts him down 7, 4, 2, and 1. He needs to get back his entire loss column with a gain of 1. Generally, it's just double your last bet. So you went from 4 to 8. 20 stands, 17. So Fibonacci gets back to 2, the 1, and the 1. Sorry, the 2 and the 1 to make 3, sorry. I'll come back and talk about that. Fibonacci has not completed the cycle yet, is not closed out. Martingale, look, there's the 4, the 2, the 1, plus 1 for 8. Okay, congratulations, Martingale, completing the cycle. Okay, so when you win on Fibonacci, you were here at the 3. You don't go all the way back to the beginning like Martingale. You move back 2 positions, 1, 2. So you're in position 2. Your next wager will be 1, which fits because you still have 1 here in your loss column. So leaves out 1. 1-3-2-6 again needs to bring out 1 to boost the wager to 3. Paroli, as usual, pressing. So should have cleared the cards first, but we're okay. Martingale starts over. Wager of 1. 17 will stand to a dealer 4. 11, 21. Again, choppy back and forth. Tough for those positives. That's a negative for the positives. How about that? Martingale's at 2, Fibonacci's at 2, position 3. He's down 2 individual wager losses. Okay. Oh. Push. Same position, same wager. Do-over. Pair of 2s to a 4. Let's check the card, because 2s are weird and 4s are weird. Okay, so 2, that is a split. So we're going to kind of crowd everybody over here, and then Fibonacci's in for 2, 1, 3, 2, 6 is in for 1, flat is in for 1, Paroli's in for 1, Martingale's in for 2. Okay, and if we lose this, then we'll have to talk about how to do it for the negatives. Playing this hand first, 9. Well, and then we're going to double down, right? So we could get into hopefully a multiple win situation here, but we could also just as easily be a multiple loss. Let's hope for the best. Let's hope for the best, but we'll take the education. Oops, that's Paroli's. That goes there. We'll take the education that we might get if we have a multiple loss situation. Okay, one card, 19. Playing this hand. 12 to a 4 stands, right? Let's show. 14, 24. Okay, multiple win, a little bit easier. Let's look at Fibonacci first. He gets his 2 back from his loss column right here. Anything above that is just bonus. It's obvious now because he doesn't have anything left in his loss column, but if he was farther down, we wouldn't change the way you move back in the sequence. There's Fibonacci. I'm going to stack him up because it gets really tight in here. Okay, the 1, 3, 2, 6. I'm just going to put them in front. This is not how you normally lay them out, but that is the 1, 3, 2, 6 winnings. There is the flat better. There's Paroli. Okay, so Martingale, here's his 1 from his loss column, plus 1, that's off of the original wager, and then 2 more for his double down. Okay, stack those up. I'm going to put them away because I might need change, and this will just make it easier. Okay, now, over here, that's also a win. I think I actually have enough. Then I'm going to count on you losing so I don't have to make change. 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. Yes, I did have enough. Okay, and then I'm just going to distribute these out and back. Uh-oh, now I'm going to have to figure out Paroli. Shoot. Okay, that won't be that hard. Okay, so Fibonacci's here. Martin 1, 3, 2, 6 was original wager of 1, and then the split and the double down. So he just won a whole bunch of extra. That's all it is. You don't deviate from the 1, 3, 2, 6. You're just at the 3 now. The flat better, of course, is 1. Let's see, Paroli, he wagered 1 and he doubled it, or he split and then he doubled it, and then he won everything. So 1, 2, and 1 there. So Paroli's going to be up to pressing everything. Pressing the whole thing, a wager of 6. You know, if you don't press everything on these multiple wins, you know, say you wager 1 and then you do a double down, and then you and you win the double down. If you don't press that, you keep those, and you make your progression be strictly 1, 2, and 4. Well, you're not really playing Paroli anymore. Suddenly you're playing a 1, 2, 4, sort of like the 1, 3, 2, 6. That's why I think it's appropriate to press the entire set of winnings. And Martingale is at 1. If you don't agree with that, say so in the comments. Tell us what your opinion is. I think that's the right way to do it. And hey, if you agree with me, let me know. It's kind of nice. It's nice to hear from you all. I've been getting more comments lately. 20 stands to a 7, 11, 19. It's nice to get the comments. Lets me know that you're all paying attention. I need some change, and that you care. How about that? I'm going to give you, that's 3, I give you 5 and take 2. 1, that's 6, and 1. Okay, so 1, 3, 2, 6 is going to drop down after the win of 3 to 2. Paroli is going to press the whole thing again. He's up to 12 after 2 consecutive wins, looking for a winning streak of 3 to complete his cycle. So that's the way it goes. Paroli hasn't taken anything off the table yet. He still has his original 5 out there. So if he loses this, yeah, he loses a lot, but he only lost his original 5. And actually, in this case, he also loses the money he put down for the double down. A 12, an unpopular hit, but the card says hit to a dealer 3. Yes, 15. That's good enough. 12, 20. Oh, there's that 8 killing you. So all these come off. 1, 3, 2, 6 did not complete, although he did okay because of the split and double down. Paroli is going to lose all of that. Okay, Fibonacci's in position 2, wagering 1. Martingale wagering 2. There you go. Too bad that came now, especially for Paroli instead of on the other hand. Okay, so there's the closing out the loss column for Fibonacci, plus the half unit, even though that's a quarter. Most of you know by now that represents a half of a unit. Paroli will press that entire thing. Martingale gets the 1 from his loss column, plus the 1 to match his original bet, plus 1 for the bonus pay on Blackjack. 13. Uh, 1, 3, 2, 6 takes the 50 cent, or the half a unit back, not 50 cents, and brings out another single unit. Of course, the flat better takes it all back. Paroli, like I said, presses to 2.5. If Paroli gets another Blackjack, I do have something to use as a quarter unit. It hasn't happened yet. I do not have something for a 1/8 unit. If that happened, it would just get rounded down. That's what they're going to do to you in the casino. But it's not going to happen. That's hardly at 21. But you will stand to a dealer 6, 9, 19. And again, the choppy action not helping out the 1, 3, 2, 6 or the Paroli. It actually works okay for Martingale. Fibonacci will just play at break even. Flat better will play at break even on win, lose, win, lose. Martingale, every win after a loss, he's always going up by 1 unit. And I think that's what those of you who like to play Martingale that's what keeps you playing it, despite the risk of busting out. Let's hear from you, Baccarat King Mac, who enjoys playing Martingale with great discipline, where he says he leaves the table when he hits his target win, and that he's doing pretty well. Is that what keeps you going on that? Is that every time you close out, you're always moving up, and choppy action works for you? Let us know. 15 hits to a 10. 25's too many. 20. Or anyone else who likes to play Martingale. Let us know. Let us know why. That's another 10 hands. That's 20. Fibonacci position 3, moving up to 2. Martingale down 3, wagers 4, looking for that gain of a single unit, as well as covering all of the losses. 14 stands to a dealer 5. 15, 20. That's 3 losses in a row. As if you've been watching the series, you know that we've been getting some bad shoes where we have wager of 3 for Fibonacci, where we have long losing streaks. And what that means for negative progressive players like Baccarat King Mac. But he understands that. He seems to accept that that's just part of the risk. And if it works for him, that's awesome. Okay, 11 to a 3, doubles down. Hopefully you don't lose this, but if you do, we'll have to talk about how Fibonacci deals with that. If we don't have to If you win and we don't have to deal with that, then you can watch the other video that I actually still have to remake, but I'll probably get that posted before this one goes up, because I make these a few days in advance in case I need to skip a day of making videos. I can do that. You can't skip days of watching. 21, going to be hard to lose that hand. 12, 18. So Fibonacci on his original wager gets paid the 3, or the 2 plus the 1 for 3. Now he still has 1 in his loss column, but we don't pay that to here. This is a bonus pay, okay? This 1 is still in the loss column. He has not closed his cycle out. This is how we do it. You could do it your own way, where you could say, well, that actually comes out of there, and he closed it out. And we actually will say that, or at least consider things in that way, should we end the shoe mid-cycle, or what would have been mid-cycle, but like you went on a big double down and it would have closed, and you could say that closed out your cycle. But because that actually, if you'd done that, I gave you this 1, I would have had to give you 2 more. You'd be closing your cycle at better than break even. And even though now you would close your cycle at better than break even when you win this one. But because you haven't adhered to the move down 1 on losses, move back 2 on wins, you're still in your cycle. Anyways, Martingale gets the 7 from his loss column, plus 1 for 8. So that's his initial wager. And then he's going to get another 8 for his double down. I'm going to give you 10 and take 2. Okay? Okay. Fibonacci, like I said, let me just show you. You were at 3. Despite the double down win, you move back 2 positions, 1, 2. You're at position 2. Wager is still 1, which is appropriate with your single unit still there in your loss column. The 1, 3, 2, 6 gets to take 1 off this time as he brings his wager up to 3. Does anybody know what flat better is going to be at? Paroli's pressing the entire thing up to 4 after his first win, also known as 1 consecutive win. That's a joke. 1 consecutive win. Not a very good one, I guess. No one's laughing. Hey, another double down. 11 to a 2. Oh boy, need lots of change again. You take it back. That goes there. 5. Now you can bring it out. 5. Yes, I could just swap between players, but I don't like to do that. That is a wager of 4 for Paroli. Sizing in at 4. Okay, single card. 19. Pretty good. 10. That's not so good. 12. It helps a little bit. 22. Great. So Fibonacci gets his 1 back from his loss column. Plus 1 for the double down. Congratulations. You closed the cycle at break even and then some. And plus your other double down win that kept you in the cycle. 1, 3, 2, 6, that's a wager of 6. I'm going to pay you back like that. Actually, let me do it this way. I'm going to give you a 10 and take 4. Okay. Flat better. Paroli is 4 plus 4 is 8. So I'm going to give you a 10 and take 2. And then Martingale gets this. Okay, that's 2 consecutive wins. So, Fibonacci comes out. Did I do that? I didn't do this right. Did I? No, I didn't. Yes, I did. Because then he had 3 and 3. Yeah. That was right. Never mind. Okay, Fibonacci is bringing, after 3, wagers 2. I think I did that right. If I make a mistake, let me know, but I'm pretty sure that's right. If I got it right, let me know too, please. Paroli, after 2 consecutive wins, is up to wager of 16. Is that right? Must be right. I wouldn't make a mistake. 16 seems like an odd number. Oh, no, because 4 to 8 to 16. Okay, got it. And Martingale back to single unit. So looking for a 3rd consecutive win. Looking for 2 more wins to complete the cycle here. We're okay. I think everything's okay. 16 will stand to a 4. 12. 15. 16. A lot of little cards. We need a big card. That is 19. No, doesn't complete the cycle. Doesn't complete 3 consecutive wins. Fibonacci position 2, wagers 1. Paroli needs some change again. That's always a bad sign when I have to give these guys so much change. Martingale wagering 2. $20 stands to a 7. 15. 24. Fibonacci closes for break even. And Martingale closes for gain of 1. Paroli is pretty easy for me to see is down the most. Pressing. Probably Martingale Martingale is certainly in the lead, which is good for Martingale. He's got some ground to make up. We're about halfway through, so he could still do fairly well. A 15 hits to a 9, 20, 18. So we get to pay everybody. There, and 1, 3, 2, 6. That's 3. So I'll give you a 5 and take 2. Flat better's there, Paroli is there, Martingale is there. Or should the dealer split those 9s? Wouldn't that be fun? 1, 3, 2, 6 dropping down after a win of 3 to a wager of 2. Paroli pressing the whole thing up to 4. Martingale at a single unit. $20 stands to a dealer 10. What do you got? 20. Push. Repeat wager, repeat position. Just nice and fast here. 16 will stand to a dealer 5. 10, that's trouble. 16, that's nice. Oh, 21. That's not so nice. So again, 1, 3, 2, 6 does not complete the cycle. Paroli does not complete the cycle. Fibonacci position 2, wagering 1. Martingale down 1, wagering 2. That is a 15 to a dealer 6 will stand. That's 13. You don't want the 8, especially not the 8 of spades. You got the 9. Fibonacci closes for break even. 1, 3, 2, 6. Flat, Paroli are winners. Martingale 1 from the lost column plus 1 for his closing with a gain of 1 unit. And Fibonacci... Oh, I'm running short again. Help me out here. That's 5. Okay, so yes. Now here. 1, 3, 2, 6 needs to bring out 1, bringing up to 3. Paroli pressing. Okay, we got it. A 13 stands to a dealer 5. 10 again. 14. 17. No good. Okay, that's 30 hands. We're guessing we're about 2/3 of the way in. Out of, expecting 45 hands. This has been what seems to be a pretty tough shoe. But if we look at the flat better, counting this, the flat better is up 1.5. Okay, which means, it's starting to show up to me, is that is choppy action, especially when we see the 1, 3, 2, 6 and the Paroli suffering the way they are. And Martingale, and especially with Martingale being up as much as he is for the moment. And let's hope it stays that way. Little ace check here, it's not there. A soft 14 to a dealer 10 takes a card that is 17, or actually 7. That would be 16. You need to hit again. Card counters might not, because of the number of small cards. But then, not sure what you do with the face card there. Anyways, that is 22. Player busts. Playing by sticking to basic strategy, no matter what. 16. You got to be consistent. Fibonacci in position 3, wagers 2. Martingale down 3, wagers 4. An 18 to a dealer 3 will stand. It will stand to just actually anything. 7, 12, 14, 16. Come on. There's your friend, the 8. Dealer bust. Fibonacci closes for break even. And the choppy action continues. Let's hope we can get out of that for the 1, 3, 2, 6 and Paroli. The Martingale gets back his 3 from his loss column. +1, closing out at a gain of a single unit. Now, single unit may not sound like much. Remember, if this is a $5 table, that's $5. If it's a $25 table, oops, 1, 3, 2, 6 brings out another one. It's $25. If you got the stones to play this at Martingale at the $100 level, you know, a unit's $100. You know, 4 units, $400. Gotta have a big bankroll for that, and if you do, good for you. 19 will stand to a dealer 9, or I should say a soft 19. I'll check just to make sure, because you actually would hit a soft 18, but I should know. I know that. I'm just making sure. 11. 20. No good. Choppy action. Choppy chop. That is really killing Paroli. Paroli, I can tell, only has 26 units at this point. Including this, the 1326 has 46 and a half. Why is Paroli getting so devastated, huh? You would think that the 1326 would be at least close. You gonna have it? You don't. He doesn't either. A soft 15 takes a card. That is a hard 15. Hit again. 25, too many. 20. Fibonacci up to a wager of 2 in position 3. Haven't gotten very far in the sequence for Fibonacci. And Martingale again up to a wager of 4. I guess because, well, Paroli would lose his whole thing when he doesn't complete his cycle. After winning the 3, the 1326 does get a little bit. At least he balances out. He really, in order to get profitable though, he needs to get that 4th consecutive win, as Paroli needs a 3rd consecutive win. Well, would you like to insure your 13? No, you would not. Do you need to? You should have. No, you should not have. What's the edge? The house edge on insurance is like 7%, something like that. Fibonacci up to a wager of 3 in position 4. Martingale wagering 8 after a loss of 4. I know it's tough. You decline the insurance and then they have it, and you feel like, oh, I should have got insurance. No, you shouldn't have, because all those times when you did pay for it and they didn't have it outweigh those times. A 15 hits to a 7, 25. Uh-oh. It's actually straight losing is better for at least for the 1 3 2 6 than win lose, because now you're only losing one at a time. 17 for the dealer there. Okay, so let's, I don't think we've gotten this far before in Fibonacci today. 1 1 2 3, 2 plus 3 is 5. That's where you are in the cycle. When you win, you'll come back to 2. If you lose, 3 plus 5 is 8. And if you double down, then we'll have to slow down and explain. A loss of 8, maybe we have been this far. Loss of 8 for Martingale is the next wager of 16. Yeah, I guess we've been this far, right? In this shoe. So many shoes, so many hands, hard to keep track. Let's have a look. No ace there. 16 will take a card. 26 is too many. That is 5 in a row. 5 losses in a row. After 6, Martingale is going to be well on the ropes. 7, Martingale could be all in. 8, Martingale could be out. Fibonacci, like I already said, 3 plus 5 is 8. I'm pretty sure we haven't been this far down in the cycle. After a bet of 16, Martingale is going to be up doubling to 32. That must mean he's down by 31. So there's 10, 20, 32. Martingale has 14 in reserve. So if he loses this, he's going to be all in. And we'll talk about that if and when that happens. Hopefully it does not. So I know there's some of you out there rooting for Martingale, hoping to see if it can recover. And I know you've already watched all the other videos that it can recover from the losses that it's already suffered in this series. But remember, just because it lost in this series, we have to also look back at how it did in all the other hands. So we're looking at, trying to look at a longer and longer view of the way these systems works. Not just on one shoe, not just on one 7-shoe series, but overall. Hopefully we'll get into the hundreds, perhaps thousands of, well, easily hundreds, in somewhere into the thousands of hands, and start getting much better data than just looking at it for one shoe. 15 hits to a 7, 19, come on. 18, okay, that's good. So the 5 and the 3 back to Fibonacci. He's not out of the cycle yet. I'm going to leave those there like that. And Martingale, he did it. So he's got 32 out there. I think that's better for viewing it. Let's show you. There's the 16 plus the 8, that makes 24, plus the 4, that makes 28, plus the 2, that makes 30, plus the 1, that makes 31, and then I get to give him one more right there, 32. So he made up all of his losses, even though he was getting down to it, and closed his cycle out for a gain. Meanwhile, Fibonacci, after 8, moves back 2 positions to the 3. So he's going to take those off. He's going to leave that there. Fibonacci's still in it. He hasn't gotten back to break even yet. 1 3 2 6 again needs to bring out another one. Paroli pressing again. These guys really need a winning streak. Yuck. Insurance closed. It's not there. Soft 16 hits to an ace. That is hard 14. Hits again, 24, no good. Again, choppy, really tough on these guys. 18. Okay, so getting back down the sequence after the 3 in Fibonacci is 5 again. Paroli is down, he's at 21 units. This is hand, what, 40. A 7 will hit to a dealer 2. That would be a 12, which will hit again. 16, you're good there. People don't like to hit those 12s, but you got to do what the card says. 10. Oh, 21. Okay, well, that was hand 40. We've always gotten at least 45. That doesn't mean that we are guaranteed 45. After a bet of 5 and the last two losses for Fibonacci being a 5 and a 3, we're looking at an 8. We haven't gotten into the weird multiple loss situation, so we don't have to talk about that. You know it's bad for these systems when I'm cashing in their blues for check change. And Martingale's wagering up to 4 here. Okay, so now that we're at 40, it's time to start talking about what to do if you end the shoe mid-cycle. Ace check here. Oh, man. You know, where do you start the next shoe where you left off in your sequence, or do you start all over again, you know, at a single unit and first position in something like Fibonacci? Okay, after losing the 8, previously losing the 5, the Fibonacci next wager is 13. Of course, you know, here the table is closed and the casino is closed at the end of this shoe. 8 for Martingale. So what you do is up to you. It's your choice. I can't really tell you. I tell you what I would do. Like if we're going to play another shoe and if I found myself up at the end of the shoe over my original buy-in, 13 stands to 6. That's a 12, 22. So Fibonacci getting back the 8 plus the 5 to make 13. He's still in the sequence. I'll show you on the chart very quickly after I've paid everybody. And Martingale, he was down 7, 4, 2, and 1. Gets those back. Plus 1. Closes the cycle out for a gain of a single unit. Clear the cards. Fibonacci, after a wager of 13, moves back 2 spots to the 5. He's still in the cycle. It was a long cycle this time. So yeah, if you're up at all, I would take off your gains over your original buy-in, put them in my pocket and not touch them, and go ahead and play the next shoe with your original buy-in of 50. The question, even if you were somehow, you know, if you were down in your cycle and you somehow ended, I would then start my cycle over in either of those situations. 15 needs to hit to a dealer 7, 25. If you're down 14, then you have to decide, especially on these negative progressives. What are you going to do? You're going to start over and start with a smaller bankroll. Back up to 8 for Fibonacci. Are you going to pick up the progression where you left off? Are you going to leave? You go home? You know, there's a variety of choices to make. Are you gonna replenish your bankroll up to 50? I think that's perhaps one of the more dangerous options. I would be most likely to start the next shoe with a smaller bankroll. 14 stands. 8, 18. Start the next shoe with a smaller bankroll, and with at beginning of position, beginning of the progression of 1 unit, and hope for the best that I don't get another long losing streak that might bust me out. Again, that's what I would do. After losing 8, Fibonacci's back up to 13. He's pretty deep within his cycle. It'll be hard for him to get back out of it before the end of this shoe. Now, he could win splits and double downs and effectively close out for up to 4 for Martingale, close out for break even or perhaps with a profit. And like I said before, that would be the one instance where I might call that like okay, of closing out the shoe, or the casino or the table, whatever it might be. Otherwise, I would keep you in the cycle. And again, if you want to keep playing 15 stands to 12, that would be your choice to make if you continue your cycle on the next hand of the next shoe, which you're not going to get here today. 13 and 17. Oh, you're definitely not going to get there today. That is 45 hands. So we've made it to our expected position. So after losing 13, the prior loss was 8. 8 plus 13 is 21 for Fibonacci. And Fibonacci is not quite all in. He's got 10, 21. He has 7.5 remaining. So if he loses this, he's going to have to go all in on his next hand. Hopefully you just win and it's easy. And Martingale, after a wager of 4, wagers 8 again. He's in no risk of busting out. At least not at the moment. Depends how many more hands we get out of this. Or how many double downs we get and potentially lose. Okay, there's no ace there. So Fibonacci needs to double down for less. You're allowed to do that. Paroli needs some change again. And Martingale going to double down with another 8. Okay, so this could be a win here. This could be Fibonacci's big chance, his only chance really for this shoe to close out the cycle, break even, or probably, would it be better? Oh, since it's for less, it may not be for bet. It may not be for better. We leave that there. Let's have a little fun. 17. So what do you need? You need a 7 or better. Those are good odds. Oh! Actually, I'm sorry, Fibonacci should have been in for that half of a unit. This is the best casino. You get to put out more chips after you've already lost. Isn't that nice of me? Those are the rules here. So that is a loss. Yes, that loss all around. So Fibonacci, I'm sorry to say, and I know, I think it was Victor. I'm gonna give you a shout out here. Everyone, just hang on. Oh, I don't have it loaded up. I'll come back to you. I'll come back. Say that. Everybody else is out here. And Martingale. Okay, we'll have to talk. He lost 8 plus 8. Now it gets a little bit weird for Martingale. It's not too bad. You can't just double down, or you can't just double your wager now, because for Martingale, if his wager was 8. And then another 8, so you can't just call it, 8 twice being 16, because you're fully down 16, and you still have another 7 down there. So 16 plus 7 is 23. The intention is to close at break even plus 1. So down 23 means you got to wager 24, which you can afford. You still have 10, 20, 32. You would not be able, if you lose this, you wouldn't be able to afford the next hand, or the fully. You would have to just play 4 less. Oh, I even got to cash in the flat better. Okay. Here we go. Fibonacci's out. Let me say that was hand 46. So Fibonacci almost made it. Almost made it. But not quite. Not quite. So, who was that now? All right, 17 stands to dealer 6. 15. Yes, that was Victor Alvarez cheering for Fibonacci, or mourning the death of Fibonacci. Okay, let's see it. Oh man, 18. Another one down. Thank God that's the end of the shoe. That was 5 consecutive losses to end the shoe. Ouch. Well, it means I don't have to count up as many. At least Martingale ended the shoe with some with something left, but not as much. Let's count them up here. That was 47 hands. 10, 20, 32. Down 18 for Martingale. I'm going to do my old thing where I put out 18 in front, like that. Inverted stack lets me know that they're down. I'm not sure if I'll be able to pull that off with Paroli, but I have other ways. Paroli down to only 13 units remaining. That is a loss of 37, right? I'm going to do that like this. Okay, it's going to be a little weird. 3, 7. And it's pretty obvious that he's down. See, 3, and it's at least my way of looking at it. 3, 7. That lets me know that he's down. Nope, that's not even a 7. Down 37. Let me just double check. That's, yeah, because he's got 13 units remaining. Flat better. This will show us, should give us an insight on how good or bad the shoe was, because you know, if he's right on even, then we're right at break even. If flat better's up, that means it was a good shoe. If the flat better's down, that means it was a bad shoe. 10, 20, 35, 39 and a half. So flat better is down 10 and a half, not 11 and a half. 39 and a half plus 10 and a half is 50. Okay, so flat better down, inverted stack 10 and a half. 1, 3, 2, 6 is got 31 and a half. That means he's down 18 and a half. Do that like this, and let's do that like this. Okay, what did I say he has? 20, 10, 25, 30, 10, 20, 25, 30, 1 and a half. Okay, whatever I said before doesn't matter. 31 and a half means he's down 18 and a half. I think that's what I said. So we've got 18 and a half out in front on an inverted stack. Okay, 15, 18 and a half. Okay, and Fibonacci's out after 47 hands, minus 50. Okay, so to recap, 47 hands. Martingale is down by 18. You know, on a $5 table, that's $80, right? No, $90. Down 18. Paroli down 37. That's a big loss here. Not as big as 50. Flat better down 10 and a half. 1, 3, 2, 6 down 18 and a half. Fibonacci down a full 50. Sorry, Victor. Anyways, that's the end of the 7 shoe series. Next comes a summary. We'll see how it all works out. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and hope you enjoyed. Bye.